genius by Industrial Light and Magic back in the day when they first made Star Wars. In order to make a ship look like it was flying, rather than moving the ship because the models were fragile and they needed to be well lit, they would move the camera towards the ship. And despite all the computer animation and special effects that we have available today, they actually reused this technique in The Mandalorian recently, using the Razor Crest as an actual model. I decided that I wanted to do this whole project from scratch. I didn't want to rent out a camera track. I felt like it would just be more educational to build the whole thing from the ground up myself. So the first thing I had to do was create a camera track. I spent about 3 hours at Lowe's just looking around and imagining how all this was going to work. I took different metal attachments that I found at Lowe's and others that I had around the house in order to create the camera mount on the skateboard. I grabbed some metal railings that I had and attached those to the board in order to create the track. I created a pulley system by putting 2 pulleys at the front of the board and 2 in the back. I strung rope through the pulleys and attached that to the skateboard. That way I could pull the skateboard and the camera towards the ship, making the ship look like it's moving. I created my own spacey background with plenty of planets and stars. So what did we learn from the first demo, you might ask? Need to add bumpers. That the green screen needs to be completely smooth. And really facing the issue that the tripod is not showing up as the same shade of green as the green screen, despite the fact that I painted it to be the same color as the green screen. I was able to borrow a portable green screen. However, that increased the issue of the tripod being a different color, so I added back my original green screen. It was just impossible to keep it smooth. Also, I believe because of the distance, the lighting is going to cause it to always be a different shade of green from the background of the green screen. I played around with a close-up shot that cut out the tripod, and it was pretty cool. It kind of worked, except that I had a lot of focus issues that I wasn't able to resolve with the features that I have on my phone. I updated my setup so that the ship is being held by wire, getting rid of the tripod entirely. The wire is a bit of a mess, but it took a lot of adjustments to get things the right height, facing the right direction, and not falling forward or backwards. So let's just let that one go. With both the curtain green screen and the portable green screen, I just didn't have enough track space for the ship and the camera to pass each other without running out of outer space and seeing the wall. Also, I really had a hard time eliminating all shadows. In addition to playing around with different lighting and camera angles, I started to implement some of the effects controls features in Adobe Premiere Pro, such as making the Ultra key for the green screen aggressive and using the full choke to try and eliminate some of the green spill from the green screen onto the black ship. Also, I gave the blue screen a try, but that was just a big no. Next up, I used some green thread that matched the portable green screen pretty well, and that was a real improvement from the tripod. It just took a little bit more adjusting. through this process when, lucky for me, an entire documentary series about Industrial Light and Magic came out on Disney Plus, where they really went into detail about how they did everything, especially the technique that I'm working on right now. Alright, so just for fun, because we're already mimicking Industrial Light and Magic's work, I moved my entire setup, once I felt like it was perfected or as close to perfect as it was going to get, to my living room and used my giant television as a stagecraft volume. Honestly, I think it's pretty cool how the black ship turned up with the stagecraft volume demo, because it looks just so old and so retro, and I love that look. I think it's kind of fun. I feel like this setup worked best for the Star Destroyer, and I think that Demo 5 was the best setup for the black ship. I had a lot of fun playing around with the Star Destroyer, and I would say I think I found some of the most interesting shots with it, like getting the really cool shadow, but it was really tough keeping it still, so it kind of has this funny like old person flying through space look. As long as we're looking for accuracy, again, I think that the stagecraft volume worked best for the Star Destroyer, and Demo 5 worked best for the black ship. Okay, after several weeks and 6 demos with several takes each, that's a wrap on the camera track.